of motion. Ooh. Already got people. Let's go, man. Hi, Chris. Oh my goodness, you just appeared. I literally just clicked start and you're here. Wow. Hi. I also got an interesting message from the live stream thingy. It said that there's now a new kind of moderator who can also it's like a regular moderator, but they can I don't know, figure out the words, moderate words. So that looked interesting. Interesting. It's because now it has two settings. I don't know how it works, but and hello, Yakman here. But yeah, there's a new kind of moderator apparently on YouTube. If I can figure that out, that would be quite cool. Anywho, I'll have to look into that. Yeah, for real, it looked interesting because it was like you can now moderate words. Oh, pardon me, excuse me. I'm gonna quickly text. Oh, I'm gonna text the people who are not here yet and tell them that I'm live. My phone is actually at what? My phone said it was at 7%. I plugged it in and now it says 24%. I don't get it. I just truly don't get it. I'm a little discombobulated. I apologize. Okay, copy text. I rushed. I mean, really, I was like the Flash. I just. Ooh, that's something I should write down too. Okay, hand. Okay. Drat, I'm forgetting things. Yep. And yep. Okay, let me just quickly. Okay. What? Okay, wait. What are the other things I want to talk about? Yeah. What's it called? Nope. Smash. Game. Was there anything else? I'm just trying to think of the things that I wanted to talk about. Is that it? Yours? What the heck? Okay, and there we go. You're doing great. Okay, thank you. Hi. Oh, that was it. And we took it on this. Okay, I guess we can start with this. So, how is everyone doing? Because this past month has actually been really good. It's been really, really good. So I have some pictures I need to show you. I have not actually looked at them myself. My mother took these photos. So, come on. Oh, I should have done it. Oh. Nice shirt, Zim. And hi, Mr. Morrill! Yes, I know. It's the greatest show out there. Do you watch it, Mr. Morrill? Do you watch it? Hi, Dad! Hi! Everyone say hi to Mr. Morrill and Dad. Hi! Anywho, yeah. I forgot that you watched, The Chosen, Mr. Morrill. Oh my gosh, these are very interesting photos. Okay. Emma might not make it, sadly. I sat down wrong and my feet fell asleep, so I'll walk around and listen a bit. Okay. Gosh, that's always the worst. I think the worst is when you wake up and you move around a second, like you're asleep, you wake up, you move around, and your arm or your leg is just numb. It's not stinging, it's numb. Then you're like, oh man. So you get up and you start moving, but there's always that tiny part of you in the back of your head, like, am I gonna be an amputee? I've definitely had that. Anywho, so let's start with this. Did any of y'all get snow? Because we got hit hard. There was no snow yesterday. And now, boom, are we gonna hear the text notification flute? Oh, yeah, that was my phone. That was my phone. People were texting me. I cannot mimic that sound, sadly. It was my phone. Cold rain today in Virginia. Cold rain in Virginia. Oh, that's sad. Too much. Yeah, for real. From Dad, yes, too much snow. Yeah, I can see that. I was praying so hard today for Mother because she door dashes. Considering the car we have, it's like an itty bitty light car, not that heavy. So it's oh, We got snow all weekend. Awesome! Please tell me you're enjoying it because I love it. This was the first day that we got snow, and I showed yeah, I showed last year the the snowman I made. I don't have a do I have a picture of it on my phone? I doubt it because I might. Hang on, let me check. The pictures that took from last year of the snowman were very much on they're on my mom's phone. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so 1 year ago. Oh, I do enjoy seeing snow because it finally feels like winter, which is fitting for December. It is, and I cannot believe that it's already December. Okay, so this is last year. Last year, I made this snowman, and we actually had a carrot back then. So yeah, last year, that's huge. That's impressive. That's a big snowman. Well, I'm pleased to say that I made a bigger one. So let me pull up the last one. This is last year's. I remember you telling us about the snowman. Okay, so yeah, this is last year's. This is this year's. Oh my gosh, it's huge. So I wonder if I can I do this? I've done this before. Hang on. How do you do this? You tap it? Yeah. Open split screen. And then open it with this one. Okay, yeah. Okay. So last year's, this year's. They they grow up so fast for real. Well, I'm not. Okay. Well, at first second I thought I was doxing someone, but yeah. Last year, this year. Look at the size difference. Both awesome for real, but this one is the most current one is infinitely better because you can see that. Look at that. My head goes up to its chest. Um, what's another good one? Oops. My here's another good one. So you can't really see the sticks, but the sticks are one is holding up the snow shovel, making it look like it's been shoveling. The other one's around my shoulder. But look at that. I can't believe it. Tell us about what motivated the snowman building this time. Basically, the fact that it snowed. It snowed, and I happened to go out to not snow shovel, brush off the car. It's awesome. Thank you, Dad. So yeah, I went to brush off the car, and I noticed that the snow was nearly perfect texture for a snowman. For a snowman, it was very satisfyingly crunchy and melty. You know what I mean? Like when you can you know the perfect snowball. Like you clump it together with your gloves on, and it's just a perfect satisfying clump, and it sticks. How do you scare a snowman? I don't. How do you scare a snowman? You you reminded that summer's coming. I don't know. That's dark. Anyway, so I ended up waiting like an hour after I swept off the car because I wanted to make sure the snow was just right, and it was basically perfect. It was awesome. With a hair dryer. Oh goodness. You scare a snowman with a hair dryer. Oh, okay. That is terrifying. It was really good snow that we got too, but I didn't think about building a snowman with it. Well, if it's still there, please make a snowman because oh my gosh. Okay, so let me just show you this one more time. Did I not? Because oh my gosh, 8%. It was at 7, then 25, and now 8. So did I forget to mention what's his name? Oh, his name is Schultz, and I'm naming him after the guy from Hogan's Heroes. Did I forget to mention that I built this by myself? The whole thing I built by myself. I didn't have help from anybody. The only help I got was with the picture. So, yeah, for real. I built this whole thing by myself and lifted each piece by myself. I know nothing. Anyway, that is a good joke then. But yeah, I built this thing by myself, and I want to spill the secrets on how. So if you want to, let me plug in the phone really quick. If you want to build a huge snowman, what you really need to do is make a huge base. Like I'm talking huge base. But then when you make this the middle bit, maybe next year the snowman will be big enough to take the picture for you. If I can manage that, that would be so cool. Anyway, so I put the whole thing together. And the only way I did that was when I made the middle section, just like last year, I took the saw and chopped it in half. And even then, it was basically almost too heavy for me to lift. The split version, like the middle section that I split in half, I was trying to lift it, and I kind of felt like, like Superman and like those old TV shows and whatnot, where it's like he's like trying to lift the tank or whatever. You know what I mean? Like those like clips of like superheroes. You're like, I can lift it, and like very slowly, it's like getting lifted. That's what happened with me. I was just, I'm obviously did not use my back. I used my legs. I hope. I think I did. And I very slowly lifted that entire middle section and stuck it on top. I then didn't make the same mistake of doing that, and I chopped the top half into halves. So I had basically a fourth of a snowman to move. Yeah, from Backman here. Dude, if the snowman takes a picture for you, name it Frosty and sing with it too. Oh my gosh. Frosty the snowman. Oh my gosh, I should do that. Yeah, okay, so Frosty is his middle name. Schultz Frosty. Schultz Frosty Stewart. Perfect. Anyway, this lighting's a little weird. I just noticed how like look at that. What if I sorry, I just noticed how bright that is. I remember like last stream or the stream before that, it looked great, but now it's like I just noticed how flushed out the color is. Anyway, so yeah, I took the top half, chopped it in half again, and then put those on top, and then I just kind of packed snow around it to make sure it wouldn't fall over. And I legit had to get a ladder out when it came to putting the hat on for the top piece because I could reach up there, but I couldn't put the hat on. So I legit got the maybe there's less natural light helping the stream. If yeah, for real, because it's pitch black out. Oh, you can't tell, but pitch black, pitch black. There is no light out because it's winter. But yeah, that's about it. So I got the ladder up. It was just super cool. It was so cool. I had multiple people who were like driving by, be like, "Nice snowman," and like it was both men and women, which I found funny because I saw these like kind of burly guys in these big manly trucks, and they're just driving by, and I'd just kind of like be like, "Hey," and they'd like give like a thumbs up or something. And there was this one woman driving a van, and she was like, "That's a big snowman," and I was like, it feels nice. Awesome, definitely awesome. Very awesome. Okay, enough about me. How has your week been? And more importantly, how was Thanksgiving? Because our Thanksgiving was awesome. It was genuinely probably the nicest and chillest Thanksgiving I've ever had. So, yeah, type down below how your Thanksgivings went while I explain ours. So, I had my Bible study, my young adults Bible study, did y'all's Thanksgiving or y'all's giving. And it was really fun because there was turkey, there was good food. We played some games. We also had the switch out. Oh, and I arm wrestled someone in one, which is just kind of funny because the guy is pretty big. And I was like, want to arm wrestle with the mentality of I'm gonna lose this. And then I won. And I was like, what? What? I'm the chosen one. No. Anyway, so yeah, that was amazing because at my Thanksgiving, at y'all's Thanksgiving, there was someone there, the one who actually gives me a ride home. He is apparently, you could say, a professional Smash player because he's played professionally. And he at one point had like a YouTube channel where he taught people how to play Smash. And there was this other guy who just started going like about like a couple months ago, who's also really good at Smash. So it was like, we're about to see the fight of the century, like our battle will be legendary. And it was really cool because my friend who's been taking me home has been, he brought a Switch and I got to watch the two of them duke it out. I tried to play and I got one kill, and that was it. If you don't know what Smash is, it's a video game where basically all of these characters from a bunch of different video game brands, somehow it's not illegal. I don't know how it's not illegal, but somehow they have all these characters from all these other video games, and you play like a video game. Like you fight against them. So it has like Steve from Minecraft, Mario, Kirby, probably someone from Halo. It's just like a mashup. It's called, it's like a big mash of all these characters from all these different video games that have no correlation with each other, and you get to duke out like and battle them. There's like a Pokemon, like Pikachu is one of them, Bowser, some things from Zelda. It was just really weird, like you would think that Nintendo, Mojang, and all these other giant media like video game companies wouldn't like say, let's make a video game with all of our characters in it. Oh well. Now there's a lot of comments. Did the guy you arm wrestle drive for a few days later and say, "Hey, nice snowman"? It wasn't the same person, sadly. Nope, not the same person. This happened like a week ago, but still, he should have. He should have. But still, it was surprising. He said that he was really tired, which makes sense. Like as we were arm wrestling, he was like, "Oh man, I'm like so tired from work," and I'm just like, "I'm gonna win," and I did, and I was really happy. My Thanksgiving was good. I got to hang out with my family, including my niece and nephews, which are a lot of fun. Awesome, GG. Yep, GG. Smash Brothers. Oh, you know about this? Yeah, you wait. Do you know about Smash, Mr. Moral? Because it's definitely like a video game of my era. Definitely. It's legal because the characters are legally licensed. It's not always easy or cheap to license them. They're licensed. Okay, that makes sense. Either way, it was just really cool. It was just really cool because it's like you got, all these different characters, and I've never really played, so I tried playing, and I was like, "What? I don't know what I'm doing." Oh, through Isaac, your son, he's a fan. That's cool. I didn't know Isaac was a fan of Smash, and that's interesting to know that you know it through him. Which I know, I find that really funny when people of your age know things that my generation knows. It's really interesting. Because you know what I mean? Like, I see that at y'all a lot when, like, sometimes one of the pastors whose kid goes to y'all, or he did before he went off to Moody College. I think I can say that. Yeah, I can say that. Anywho, he sometimes regularly visits, so we talk and whatnot. He's like a great guy. I love him. We know more than you think we know. Wow, really? We know more than you think we know. Wow. So there's the question, Dad. Do you know what Smash is? Because I just described it to you. So do you know about the Smash video game or Minecraft? I'm gonna challenge you on that, Dad. I'm directly challenging you and on your knowledge of my generation's culture. Anywho, so that was really fun. I'm glad your Thanksgiving's fun. How did yours go, Mr. Moral? And how did yours goes, yours truly, Chris? And how did yours go, Dad? Speaking of yours truly, Chris, where did he go? Did he fall asleep? That'd be funny if he fell asleep. Minecraft, yes, because you've played it before for a long time. Called from Dad, and pop culture is pretty pervasive across the generations. Very true. Very true. Almost fell asleep. Okay, good. Don't fall asleep, please. No, wake up. I don't know. I don't know. No, it's totally fine. If you fall asleep, makes sense. I will not hold a grudge. Fell asleep early last night. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Need your sleep. Someone at my Bible study takes the night shift, and he stays up till 5 a.m. for his job. And I just he has a kid too, and it's like, how do you do that? How do you do that? This and the kid is still like in the stage where he like wakes up in the middle of the night, I'm sure. So it's like, how? I just how do you do it? Okay. Talked about that, and that. Man, I talked about a lot of it. Oh, so I'm gonna what should I talk about now? Let me look at my list. It's only 7:22. I'm glad y'all are doing so good the past couple of weeks. It's good to hear. Excuse me. I like the idea of the game, and it is an entertaining party game. But Smash Brothers really isn't my style of game. I've tried to play it or a game like it before, but it just wasn't for me. That makes sense. I definitely don't think it's a game that I would be super into, but everyone else is into it. So it's like, you know what? I can get into this. Because like a lot of times they'll start talking about Smash or other video games, and I'm like, what? But Smash was one of the few games where I feel like I could, I feel safe playing it because I'm kind of sheltered from all that kind of stuff, and my personal convictions make it so I feel very uncomfortable with a lot of the Call of Duties and like first person shooters. I just makes me feel uncomfortable. But Smash is one of the few games that I feel fine about. So, I'm gonna take advantage of that. I spent Thanksgiving with my daughter, son-in-law, and grandson. Her first attempt at the big meal. It turned out very tasty. Good. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, right. We had two Thanksgivings. I forgot to tell you about the second one. So we personally hosted for one of my friends, and it was actually my science teacher. So I'm homeschooled, but I had a science teacher in the sense that my mother worked at this creation science museum. No, not a museum. More like a well, it's like a rec center, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Had an inside and outside section. The outside section had like little pedal powered go kart track, slides, swings, mini golf, stuff like that. And the inside had like a sandbox, a little touring room, and like other rooms to do things in, and like a little conference room. Anywho, so there would be like a science class there. So I would go there, and like I also went with my mother to work. So I got to see like the insides of the building. Like I'm talking like the employees only sections. I had that special access. You used to go there as a kid. Yes, I did. So yeah, we've been in good contact with my science teacher who shares a name with with one of my aunts, and it was just really fun because she's a Christian, and we had Chinese food. It was very simple. We had Chinese food and we listened to music. It was really nice because we ate food and we talked. And then we went to the living room. What did we do there? We went to the living room and we ended up just listening to some music. And it was so simple is the way these days. For real. Simple is the way these days. But yeah, it was just so peaceful. I showed her this really good video. We should go there next time we hang out. We should. It's okay. So first off, the new people who own the building are like I'm convinced that because it's a Christian creation worldview building, that there's the bad people are infiltrating it and trying to make it more secular. Because they definitely have made some questionable financial choices. And they also just seem to be like, they definitely were promoting, like, they were replacing and pushing out like my science teacher who actually taught creation and like following like creation and like Christianity, but like wrapped it in science, and they like kept pushing her out for this other employee who was extremely more secular and didn't do any research. Like at one point she did a class for children, but the research she studied was from a children's book, if I'm remembering this correctly. So she basically, it was, I know she said at one point a catalyst was a helper, and it's like that's not true. That is so not true. So it definitely felt like the higher up people in the building were forcing out the people who were true Christians and teaching Christianity and the creation worldview, and they were replacing them with the secular, more like not evolution, like very subtle push. So it was just like, my mother doesn't have good experience, like good memories with the place. I do, but I do feel a little unwilling, I guess, to go there because it's like, I don't know. It's just it's one of the it peaked. It had its greatest moments was like probably 2013, 2015 at most. But then after that, I think it just went downhill. They got rid of the mini golf course. The slide they had to convert because it wasn't technically, you could say, a standard slide. It was like probably 1.5 stories tall. So it was tall and wide. So like 3 people, 4 people can sit on it and go down. And it had like a little bump in the middle. But I think they did have to convert that. So it just definitely changed, I think, for the worse. So yeah, I would love to go back there, back in its heyday. But, its time has come and gone. So I look forward to heaven. We should all hang out in heaven. But yeah, we should go to something like that. One of the things I liked at Thanksgiving was turning on the Westminster Dog Show and watching all the fun dogs with my little niece. That sounds so cool. I remember banging my head really hard playing you through the. Really? I don't remember. Okay, first off, Dad, I don't remember ever seeing you there at that place. I remember that happening at Kalahari when you banged your head, and that was funny. But yeah, I remember banging my head once on the. Okay, it was a really dumb design, you could say, because for the slide, because the slide it went down and it stopped, but after it stopped, there was like after like a certain amount of distance, there was this I don't know what it's called, but like like a shelter with the picnic tables. And I just remember one day going down it, but I think I was on a sled. And I remember when I went down it, I hit my head on one of the poles for the shelter. Nothing hurt. I didn't like I was fine, but like the impact was just like bam. And like I'm fine. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. But I just knew that the moment I hit my head, I was like, okay, I need to go tell someone because if something's gonna happen. Different time, but Kalahari was funny. It was. It was really funny. But anyway, you just reminded me of when I banged my head. I have a theory, a crazy theory, that that's how I got my tinnitus. I could be totally wrong on that, but it's possible I got my tinnitus because of that impact, which would be funny, but also sad, but funny. Which makes me very paranoid about losing my hearing, because if I lose my hearing and then have tinnitus, which is not in the ears, but it's like your head, ugh, terrifying. Because, like, I can plug my ears and I still hear it. So it's like, one of those things that younger me was very paranoid about. But me now is like, you know what? I'm not going to worry. But hey, that's just a theory. Zimmerman theory. Oh my gosh. I need to watch more Matt Pat. He was definitely a YouTuber that a lot of like you, like Chris, and like other people talked about that I just couldn't get myself into at the time. But I could totally see myself watching some of his videos now. I heard one from one of my friends that like a crazy theory about the Wally movie, which is I'm not gonna repeat it, but it was just insane. Oh, I'm gonna say two things. One thing that I want to talk about, I should say, is that before I forget, was I was just playing some Minecraft earlier, and I was building this cool thing. I'll have to admit, it's kind of cool. And my friend happened to hop on, and we started chatting over the phone. And he seemed like really impressed with what I built. And I only say this because he's a really stoic person by nature. Like he's just like you. I don't know. You can show him something that you think is cool, and he'll be like, "Cool." But even then, it's like like there's like he's just one of those like tall, handsome, but just like kind of emotionless in the face kind of people. But when I was talking to him, he was like, "I love what you did." And it was like I could hear through the phone like genuine praise, I guess. Or I don't know if that's like an appropriate word, but oh, wait, I need to write something down. But it surprised me so much that it's just I still think about it to this. I was about to say still think about it to this day when it happened today. Anywho, and I didn't watch a lot of his content, but I knew who he was because he was popular. You ran into him at Disneyland and got a. Chris, what's your secret to meeting famous people? Because you met the Rick Astley, and you met Matt Pat. You're like close friends with Jordan and Josh Taylor. What is your secret? Please, I need to know this. I will pay genuine money for you to teach me how to meet famous people because that is so cool. I think Jordan and Josh are like the only like famous people that I've met who like still stick with me. Like, oh my gosh, I met them. I did meet a pastor of a church once who, interesting fellow, let's just say. I was a fan of some of his work until something happened. But yeah, stalker. Stalker. Plot twist, Matt Pat came up to Chris and was like, hey, are you the first, shall be last guy? For real. I have to admit, I really like that about you, Yakun, here. You always seem to find a way to reverse something and make it like a legendary compliment. It's amazing. Keep doing you. It's awesome. Okay, there's so many things in my head that I want to talk about because I'm like thinking of them. But there's also one specific thing I want to do. So as you can see, no Christmas lights up. And I was really disappointed because I wanted to get them up before the live stream. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're an amazing person, and I'm so glad that we're friends. I have to admit, it's really cool. There was a part of my brain, like 15 years ago, who was terrified of the idea of making new friends because I was afraid I was going to forget them at some point. I was afraid that if I made too many friends, I'd start forgetting who people are, which is a terrible mindset for a 5-year-old. But, I had it. So I'm just very grateful now that I'm making new friends and I'm like proving my old self wrong. It just makes me very happy. Very, very happy. I met the TV stars when I raced and worked with the Soapbox Derby. I've also met a few famous musicians like DC Talk. That's really cool. Christmas lights are some of my favorite lights, for real. DC Talk got to meet the Ken Stewart. What? Oh my goodness. I don't know if you watch a little Leave It to Beaver, Jackman here, but Dad did see Tony Dowell at a Soapbox Derby thing. I've met some members of a band called Yes. Yes! I tell you what, there's like some of the craziest names for bands that I've heard. That's insane. Yes. What? Wasn't there a band called The? I don't know. I thought I heard that somewhere. Anyway, so I really quickly before the live stream started, I went and I found these. You can't really tell what they are, but they're Christmas lights. So I'm thinking of setting them up here. Now, usually I would have the white Christmas lights, but I don't know where they went. It could be in my closet. Hang on. That'd be really funny if they. Wait a second. Wait a second. I was right. They are in my closet. I suddenly had a flashback of seeing them. Oh my gosh. So we can put up all the Christmas lights. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I just want to really quickly put these up on stream to keep me accountable. Because if I don't put them up on stream, I might not ever do it. So let me just untangle these. Of course, the classic untangling Christmas lights. Anyway, while I do this, I'm going to talk about other things that I've learned and whatnot. So recently, wait. For those who don't know, I go to therapy. I know, it's a shocker. But, not trying to sound like narcissistic or anything. Anyway, so yeah, I've been going to therapy for a couple years now. I think 2 years now. That sounds about right. And, we've been, I've healed a lot because of it. And, like we had an interestingly financially, uh, a lack of finance upbringing has meant that I needed a lot of therapy. Whoa, this looks nice. Anywho, so I've been healing an insane amount, and I cannot recommend it more to anyone who needs it. But recently, when I was talking to my therapist, at the very end of, the tail end of a session, I happened to talk about that I do not have a real sense of confidence. And the reason why is because my personal conviction was that if I had confidence, then that will lead to pride. And the Bible says you should not have pride. So I was always, even as a young kid, very, what's the word? I felt, maybe not led, but I personally felt like it was wrong of me to have confidence. Because if I had confidence, I'd become well, I'm clearly the best at everything kind of a person. And I did not want that. So, now that I think about it, I really can remove this. I have this thing up here because the light that comes from here will reflect off of that TV that you can't see. But I might remove it at some point. Anywho. So yeah, this looks awesome. Anywho. So I was talking to my therapist about it. And when I happened to say that, she was like, "Oh, let me change that." She was like, "Oh my gosh, red alert. That's a very incorrect way of thinking." So I ended up talking to her about confidence and pride and arrogance. And she helped me to see something huge. She helped me to see the difference between arrogance and pride. Well, more like, let me reword this. She helped me to realize a couple things. Because, you will find those people in real life. Not prideful, but just, the Giga Chad, massive build, confident, very, I don't know, just hardworking and just overall, very confident and assured person. And there's nothing wrong with that. So she helped me to realize that, that kind of confidence is not wrong. And it helped, because of my autistic brain, I would look at the word pride and it'd be like a big murky blended up thing of that's arrogance and rudeness, but I would throw in other words like confidence and a go at it kind of attitude. So overall, I would mix it all. So I then lived my life without any of it because I didn't want to sin like that. So I ended up becoming a very timid, unconfident, kind of like a pushover, basically. But she helped me realize that arrogance, basically, not in her own words, but in my words, the arrogance that I do not want is basically the root of the pride. Because if you think about it, people who are prideful are very arrogant. And there's the instances in the Bible even of people who are prideful, they're being mad arrogant. It's basically saying, I know what's right. I'm not going to listen to the people who are saying, hey, you need to not do that or you need to do something else. So I needed to hear a third person say this because I kind of somewhat knew this, but to hear someone else say that and help me realize that just blew my mind. And for the next 2 days after that therapy session, I felt so free in the head because it was nice to know that I could be that. It would be okay if I became confident and had that go at it kind of attitude. And basically the people of 40, 50, 60 years ago, the ones who are hi, good to meet you, my name's Chris or whatever. I'm gonna do that thing and do it well, and everyone's, no one's gonna have to worry because I'm gonna get it done, kind of a thing. But like, it's okay to have that as long as you don't have the arrogance that says, well, I'm not gonna believe anyone who says anything to me about whether I should change my ways or change how I do things. So it's been really nice to know that there's a difference, because my brain blended all of that together to a point that I was like, you know what? Just call it pride and just don't touch it. But she really, really helped me figure this out, and I couldn't be more thankful. So huge shout out to my therapist for helping me to see the truth, basically. Okay, let's put this here. That's on. Excellent. Now you won't be able to see these really because they're going on this window, but I'm still gonna do it. Now this could be very foolish, but I'm gonna attempt to put my foot on a swivel chair. 1, 2, there we go. Yep, that could have been foolish. That could have been dangerous. There. I just got a text from someone. I have a feeling I know who it is, but I'm still gonna check and not make the assumption that I know. But I'm gonna guess that is Mr. T. Okay. Because I know Mr. T. There we go. Anywho, what are your thoughts on the whole on what I just talked about? Because I'm very curious. I'm okay, by the way, to see what you have to say about it. I forgot that I lumped narcissism in there as well. I didn't want to become narcissistic, and I thought that arrogance, pride was also. I don't know. Like I said, like I'd lump some things together. Okay, now very gently and carefully. Hop down. Wait. Before I look at the comments,